What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of GearBreakConnection.com. I'm Eric Chase.
I'm Zach.
And we're going to sit here and come at you with the spoiler review for Mad Max Fury Road. Now, this movie was completely epic. You seen my reviews for the previous films. You seen my review for Fury Road, but we're actually going to get into the nitty gritty of it today. I mean, what were your thoughts on it completely as a movie as a whole?
As a whole, I enjoyed the movie. It wasn't anything. It really wasn't anything out of the ordinary for me. You know, when it comes to the Mad Max movies. It was a little over the top at some points, but that's not a bad thing, especially, you know, when it's about Mad Max. But when it's over the top, it's actually a little bit better.
So, all right, we're going to go down the list. Characters. What did you think about the characters?
I was actually kind of shocked where Mad Max actually came from in this movie, being used as he was, as a blood bag. Oh, man, that was unexpected, honestly. I didn't see Mad Max coming, you know, from such a low point. You know, you're not really that used to seeing him like that in Mad Max.
I mean, maybe because I'm going off of Beyond Thunderdome.
Possibly, yes.
Yeah. I mean, how did you think Tom Hardy did as Max?
But yeah, he still did a good job as Max.
Yeah.
I was not disappointed in his performance. He still acted like the Mad Max I figured he would. So when it came to his acting, it was good.
Alright, so everybody knows now, Mad Max was good, but everybody knows where the bulk of the film was more surrounded around Furiosa. What did you think about Charlize Theron on that part?
That role she played it well. It wasn't exactly what I was expecting, but it worked.
I loved her, and maybe because I love Charlize Theron as an actress, but I was like,
I honestly I don't really care for her that much.
I like you said, when I said in my movie review, she was one of those characters I wish would been in more Mad Max movies, because I just found she was just so freaking interesting. I would have liked to have known what happened to her arm, because I don't think the movie didn't really address it. Maybe it'd be like something in a deleted scene or something.
When they come out with the DVD, hopefully they might put that in a deleted scene. I could definitely see it being a deleted scene. But you know, that's all up to the producers. Are they gonna not be lazy and do that, or are they gonna be lazy and not do it? Because it would be a great addition.
I mean, from the story already put together where she was kidnapped by Immortan Joe, we can kind of see what might have happened. Maybe she tried to escape, and as punishment, he cut her arm off. Speaking of Immortan Joe, what did you think about him?
He was pretty much the ruthless, die-hard bad guy I could picture in this role.
And he had a really badass look. And for you who don't know, Immortan Joe is the same guy that played Toe Cutter in the original Mad Max, Hugh Keays-Byrne. And
which I almost didn't realize at first.
I didn't realize until I actually did these reviews. But I actually thought like the whole Immortan Joe aspect was pretty cool, actually. The whole idea of him having these women and he's using them for like having his babies.
Basically procreation, but greedy procreation.
I really like that storyline. And we got to talk about Nux, played by Nicholas Hoult. He was completely badass. He was one of those characters you did not. I loved his arc, because you think that he would be one thing, but as the movie progressed, he became
so much. He became a lot different.
He became much deeper too.
Deeper, different, kind of unexpected.
Yeah, if anybody had to develop an arc, it was really him.
Yeah, Because you saw the point where he came from, and then to see where he finished at the end of the movie, pretty beast.
Yeah, he was pretty beast. And as turns of the story, Max ends up joining this woman named Furiosa, who has
Stolen a war rig.
stolen a war rig, as well as rescued this group, these 5 women from this dictator, and they're on the run from him. And Max is with them, and they're right now being pursued by this 3 different armies, you could just say.
Yeah, it's like 3 different gangs. I guess you could call them gangs.
Yeah.
But they're almost like armies in the terms of numbers that they had.
Yeah. Now, I'm not gonna lie, another personality that was in the film that was almost as much of a character as anybody else was the war rig, actually.
That war rig probably had just as much face time as Mad Max did.
In fact, I think the war rig had as much FaceTime as everybody in the movie did.
Because actually, from the very get-go of the movie, I think before you really truly see Max, the first thing you see is the war rig.
But, I mean, everything was so, like, let's talk about the action. The action was tight as hell.
The action reminded me so much of Road Warrior.
But, what is it when they put the nitros in? It's like they took the idea of the Road Warrior and they put the nitros.
It was like Road Warrior with superchargers.
Yes,
basically. This war rig had 2 superchargers on it, and that was unexpected. I've never seen something like that before. To see this rig that they're driving through the desert reach speeds like that while hauling a trailer full of gasoline and water is really something.
And some of the stunts that they did with the truck that I really like the one part where they're racing on the way back and Nuts ends up climbing on top of the hood of it, and he's like, had the gas in his mouth and he's spitting it into the charges.
Yeah, he's spitting it, yeah.
I was like, that was beast as hell.
That was also the same moment in the movie where Mad Max's original car made its debut. Finally in the movie, I thought we were never going to see his car. But yeah, apparently a rival gang had gotten a hold of his, his famous car that he always drove.
Oh, I think it was the one Immortan Joe, his gang. I think after they got him,
I think they took his car. Yeah. And somewhere down the road in the movie, you see his car actually, make its appearance, and Max actually makes a reference to it. He looks at the car out of the passenger side window of the truck. He said, "That's mine."
But that was one of the things that I kind of wish they would have put into it. Maybe it's a deleted scene, but I remember when we was at the movies, I was like, well, maybe after the credits we'll see if he got his car back.
Well, the car was destroyed, wasn't it?
I don't think they showed it being destroyed. I'm not really sure.
I think I remember seeing it being destroyed in the movie. I'm almost certain it was.
Oh. Well, with so many cars and explosions, it's kind of hard to tell. Honestly.
I kind of have a movie. When it comes to movies like this, I have an eye out for cars. And that's you can blame Road Warrior for that, for getting me started on the whole, because this movie did feel a lot like the Road Warrior in terms of them attacking the rig, because that was pretty much exactly what they did in Road Warrior. They were trying to transport the gasoline in this rig, and everyone was attacking this rig. It was like a wounded battleship being attacked by a bunch of destroyers, is basically what it was.
And I gotta say, my favorite part of the whole movie, because the movie was just straight epic. It was action, like non-stop. It was very fast paced. It kept you engaged. But my favorite part is the part where Furiosa was when her and Max first I guess allied themselves together somewhat. You could tell that they didn't trust each other, and they drove into the valley. And she was trying to drop off the water, but then the guys end up betraying her because they found out the armies was coming.
Yeah.
And Max takes off in the truck, and then they're in the truck driving, and then these gangs with these motorcycles are just jumping, running up the little sand hills, jumping and stuff, and throwing the little fireballs on the truck and everything. So they have to contend with that. I thought that was one of the best scenes in the movie.
That seems to be a new weapon that they brought into the movie as well. It was like these
The poles with the little bombs
There
on
was
them?
like these bombs on the end of these poles, these really long poles, and these things were used extensively throughout the entire movie. It seemed like these things were extremely effective vehicle
Yeah,
killers.
like explosive spears. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be the best way to describe them, but I've never seen that before.
Yeah, that was a really good addition. And like when it first took off, when Furiosa first took off in the rig with the women, and then those other gangs came up, the ones with the spikes on the cars.
Yeah.
I said, Lord, that was, and then the one guy, he got stabbed in the face, but then he jumped off and he blew himself up in one of those things. I was like, wow. But oh my gosh, that was like one of the best parts of the movie. I have to admit that. The girls were all pretty hot. My personal favorite was Zoe, that played, I think her name Toast Annoying. They had some really weird names.
Yeah, their names didn't make any sense at all.
But I really liked Zoe's character, honestly. The one girl that was pregnant, she played on, I believe, Transformers 3. The one that died, I thought she was badass before she died. But
She went out like a beast, though.
yeah, she did. She really did.
She actually made some contributions before she went out, so it's nice to see her character wasn't, put to waste.
What did you think about the whole sandstorm aspect?
That was a big sandstorm.
Yeah, it really was.
But, in a nuclear apocalypse like that, when 90% of this land is all desert and sand, you have to think back to I think they were thinking back to the Dust Bowl era.
Yeah.
After when the Great Depression hit, we had these massive sandstorms that were rolling across the United States. And granted, they weren't as big as what we had just seen in Mad Max, but they were huge. And what was kind of cool, they actually added some extra aspects to the sandstorm that I've never seen before. There were freaking tornadoes in this sandstorm.
Lightning there too?
There was lightning, there was tornadoes. It was like entering the seventh circle of hell or something.
And I like the fact that when they did it, they kind of showed it from Max's perspective. So he's like looking around and all of this stuff is like, I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I wish that part I kind of I expected to see later on in the movie. But in terms of the story-wise, it did make sense because it did put distance between the armies and Furiosa and them.
Yeah, it slowed down the armies. Mad Max was also slowed because that rig had gone through quite a lot, even at that point.
Mm-hmm. But that's how they got up. That's how they met.
And part of me was kind of wondering, was kind of hoping that at the end of the movie, the war rig would have actually made it through everything. But no, it didn't. It crashed and blew up.
We have to talk about the one thing that just stood out so freaking much. It was so freaking awesome every time we've seen it. Was the freaking guy with the guitar.
Oh my god! I'd almost forgotten about that.
The guy.
That was a returning aspect of the movie that really kept you like wondering what in the hell. But it also made you laugh a lot when you saw it too, because this guy would literally just play his guitar.
And flames were shooting out of it.
They had these massive speakers on the back of the car that would just blast this music. And the thing is, it wasn't just like random chords he played. He played good rhythm. It was really like heavy metal stuff.
Yeah.
But he kept good rhythm. No matter how the car was moving, and he was like suspended on these wires.
That was pretty cool. Him and the guitar.
There was only one time in this whole movie where you see them stop playing. That was because he fell asleep.
And he was like, hang on.
And then, but as soon as the convoy got moving again, guess what he did? He got right back up and just started playing on it again.
That guy was like awesome. I loved him. I was like, this guy's got a flaming guitar.
And probably kind of wondered, like, what was his purpose there for? And I think I know what it was. It was for morale.
Yeah, kind of like the little drum beat.
He kept because honestly, they were gone out in that desert for a while. It was quite a chase.
And they went through some stuff too.
And that also made me wonder. I was like, these guys are like starved for gasoline. Gasoline is supposed to be it's sort of a scarcity these days. That's why they were sending the war rig to Gasoline Town or whatever the heck it was called to get gas. But I'm just saying, these guys, they spent a whole lot of fuel chasing this war rig all across the desert.
Yeah, but that's when I went and did research for the reviews. That's when I learned that the reason why they had so much ammo with the bombs and all of that is because they had one town that was like one town
supplied munitions, the
one
other
for
town supplied
gas,
gasoline,
and I think Immortan Joe's was
water.
Water, yeah. So they kind of had a pretty good setup, actually.
Which is an iron vice, I guess. If you're gonna, if you're gonna grab power in an environment like that, I guess one of the best things to have control over is water.
Yeah, and I gotta say, like I said in my review once again, the soundtrack. I love the soundtrack. Oh my freaking gosh, I love the soundtrack. They all wanted to cry. It was so good to me for some reason.
The music they played during all the action scenes was just perfectly set for that type of environment, that type of action. The speed of the action. Now, what did you think about the elders?
The older women?
Yes.
I liked it. I liked it, the storyline for them, and I liked it the fact. I make a comparison. Like on the Road Warrior. I went back and watched it, the Road Warrior, and I seen like where their survivors was trying to, fight off the bandits, and I seen how the women were trying to fight off the bandits. And I'm not saying that. I am saying, but it was better done in Mad Max. I mean, Fury Road, because I went back and watched the Road Warrior, and I was like, they weren't really. This like one of those nostalgia things for me. It's like I really like that scene, but I gotta kind of call it what it is. That was decent. But this movie did it better. And as far as the older women aspect, the mothers, I thought they weren't in the film for long, but they went ham. I ain't gonna lie.
They weren't in the film for long, but they did contribute.
They contributed a lot,
especially in the last final battle of the movie. They really contributed a lot, helping Mad Max and the other girls. One thing I did like about it though was they didn't really talk about what had happened to their society that they had tried to build. All they
touched on it, but they
said was the water was poisoned. Yeah. And we saw when Mad Max and the girls were driving through the desert in the war rig.
And they
drove through this swampy sand, which I believe was covered in oil. I believe it was oil. So all I can guess is that the oil had gotten into the groundwater that the elders were trying to pump up or something.
And everything
got poisoned. Everyone started dying. Yeah. I don't know, but yeah. I wish they would have kind of hit on that a little bit more.
I mean, they gave you enough to get you like a central idea, but they didn't really touch into it too much.
Also, it's kind of ironic. Out of that whole huge desert that they traveled through, they come across that one tree.
That was interesting.
And if it wasn't for that one tree being there, they would have never got the war rig out.
that was really interesting. That was really interesting.
Just to think of how ironic that was like.
And I thought it was
I almost couldn't buy it. It's like, really, out of this whole desert, they drove in one straight line. They never deviated from their course. I mean, because deviation at that point would have even helped them, because it's not hard to follow the tracks of what a war rig makes. So even if they were to turn and try to make circles, the bandits would have still found them either way.
Yeah.
So I guess driving in a straight line would still make sense.
I kind of thought, I was like thinking to myself, I said, how in the hell do they know where to go in this big desert?
And that's the thing, they didn't. They just drove in one straight line and kept going.
Nah, I figured it out. Cause I used to watch I was watching like Pirates of the Caribbean. I was like, well, how the hell do they know where they're going? And I guess they have their own functioning navigational system, like for that type of environment. Like if you live in the desert long enough, you know how to navigate it. If you live in the jungle, you'll know how to. If you live on the seas, you'll know how to navigate it after a while. That kind of, I was like, but then I thought about it in that aspect. Well, that's like what pirates can do it on the open water. And they've lived in the desert their whole life. Well, not their whole life, but long enough for them to adapt. Yeah. This movie was just freaking awesome on all fronts. This is definitely one of the movies I'm going to buy on DVD.
I'll definitely buy it on DVD. But speaking about lengthwise, I don't know why, but it felt a little short. Like, I don't know why, but when the movie ended in the theater, I was almost surprised by it. I was like, wait, is this over? It's over? I wanted to see a little bit more for some reason. I was like, this can't be over right now. We haven't even been here that long.
That's an engaging movie, because when it ends, you're like, no, that cannot be it.
Which is kind of why I hope they do put some bonus content in DVDs.
They please do put some content into there, please. And I have to say again, Toast, the Knowing, was sexy as hell. I love this girl. She was really cute. This girl is like on my mind right now. I had to go on Instagram and look her up because she was really cool in the movie. I like the character. And I'm not obsessing.
Obsessing.
But yeah, this is our Mad Max Fury Road discussion review, guys. Feel free to let us know what y'all thought about it, what you thought about the review, things you thought we touched on that make sense, things that didn't touch on, and we'll just see you guys in the next edition of GearBreakerNation.com. And remember, keep the gears turning.